All right, so we're not going to have the typical intro that we usually do where I show my other channel, tell you to like the video and subscribe. You guys have heard it a million times, whether you're just a watcher of the channel or you're subscribed here. Either way, we'll leave it out. Let's dive right in. We have a 50-50 video here today, and what exactly is that? Well, that is where you have 50% of your community who's going to agree with everything you say, and then you have the other 50% of your community that's not going to agree with every single thing you say. They're going to disagree with almost all of it. And when that happens, they're probably going to get pissed off and run to the comments and tell you exactly why they think you are wrong. And when there's a 50-50 video that comes up, I tend to stay away from it. But right now, I'm seeing a lot of negativity for Escape from Tarkov, and I couldn't disagree more. I think Tarkov is in the best state it's ever been in, but I'm on a different side of the coin than most people, and a lot of the new community that I've built here on this channel is on my side, and that is the side of PVE. I have been saying since the first day of PVE that it's the future of Escape from Tarkov. Right now, it is almost a constant wave of negativity for PvP Tarkov, whether that is streamers and just the overall vibe, whether that is those same streamers on Twitter constantly complaining about how bad Tarkov is and what needs fixed and what needs changed. These are a lot of creators that I watch that I really enjoy, but it really does suck to see them be negative all the time. And if you've been subscribed here for a very long time, you know I'm absolutely no stranger to that. There was a period of time, roughly 2 to 3 years ago, where for a year straight, all I did was shit on Escape from Tarkov. And personally, I think that's why BSG and Nikita just don't like me. I absolutely hammered them for a year straight, telling them everything they were doing wrong, telling them why the game was so bad, telling them that they need to do something about the cheating. And I was absolutely, day after day, week after week, hammering them for a year straight. And I just didn't stop. And that's what it feels like now, still, but I'm on a different side of the coin. I have a different perspective. I'm sitting on the other fence now. Being a PvE only player has never been better in Escape from Tarkov. Last night, for the first time in as long as I can remember, within the last few months, that I got on Escape from Tarkov and I didn't click the record button, I just played the damn game, because it is in such a good spot with the most recent change of allowing us to play on BSG servers. Bringing that to the table has completely brought back my love for PvE. And I didn't just play a couple of raids. No, I played for a few hours. And on top of that, over on the Acez TV channel, I told you I wouldn't shill, but I have to at least tell you this. I think I've uploaded like 30 to 35 hours of content in under 10 days. That's how much I'm playing Escape from Tarkov again, and I'm really enjoying it, really loving it. But at the same exact time, while I'm uploading these videos and having an absolute blast, you have some of the biggest creators in the space constantly degrading Tarkov, saying that it's in the worst state it's ever been in. And all I ask, before we kind of look at some examples and I kind of give you my reasoning, all I ask is, if we're going to say these things about Escape from Tarkov, that we make it very clear that we're talking about PvP Tarkov. And it is implied, it is assumed, but at the same time, you have to understand that there are eyes always on some of these creators, and those eyes may have never played Escape from Tarkov before. So when a brand new individual to Tarkov sees Pestilli saying that the game is in the worst spot it's ever been in, and I love Pestilli. I think he's one of the best creators for Escape from Tarkov, somebody I watched all the time when I first got into it. When somebody like Pest says the game's in the worst spot, all I ask is we somehow make it clear that PvE is absolutely amazing for casual players and new players. PvE is that entrance point. And if a player for the first time tries Tarkov on PvE, I guarantee you they're going to have a blast. They're going to have a really fun time. But if they try PvP for the first time, I'm in the same boat. I think PvP is shit right now. And I watch streamers every single day. I have them in the background, and I hear it constantly. All the things that are wrong. The loot being absolutely terrible seems to be the main complaint. And why is that a big complaint right now? Well, because you go in a raid, you're fighting constantly, you're bringing in expensive ammo to take out PMCs that have max gear, they have, their max level, and you're spending a ton on your kits, and you just don't get enough in your raids to pay for those expensive kits. And then if you die a couple of times, you're down on rubles, and if that cycle repeats enough, you end up broke, and then you're really at a disadvantage because you're still fighting the same people that have maxed out gear constantly. Now, this is a bigger issue for streamers who are playing 8, 10, 12 hours a day because it's their job, it's their livelihood. You have to understand the negativity doesn't necessarily stem from them hating Tarkov. It stems mainly from a passion for Tarkov or because it's their job. You're not going to know who's who unless it's somebody who's very transparent about it. So, in my case, for me, when I was shitting on Tarkov constantly, it was out of passion. Tarkov was never my job. This has never been my main source of income. Yes, it's nice to be able to afford bacon on a cheeseburger every now and then, have a little YouTube money sprinkled in. Shit, maybe even pay your internet bill for a month. But at the end of the day, for me, I never shit on Tarkov for money. I shit on Tarkov out of passion. And that's back when I was playing PvP. And the cheaters, they were not as bad as they are now, which is crazy to think about because that was the main thing that I was on BSG's ass about constantly. There's plenty of other things wrong with the game. There still is. There always will be. But you know what I mean. Some of these streamers that rely on viewers and subs and donations as their income, as their livelihood, it's like going to work every single day to a job you absolutely hate, and there's nothing you can really do about it. There's nothing a streamer can really do about getting killed by cheaters or targeted by cheaters. I know there's some streamers that have completely retired from Tarkov because they have been stream sniped on the only server that's available to them by cheaters, kind of forcing them off of the game. There are certain situations where the negativity is definitely warranted, but I'm here to tell you that PVE is in the best spot it has ever been in my personal opinion. As soon as PvE gets ref in some way, shape, or form, and the only other thing, if Prestige is added to PvE, and I think BSG will add it, I think those two things combined just makes the PvE experience all that more attractive for people to play, people to watch, people to enjoy. Right now, I'm not saying my channel is doing great. I'm not saying it's doing bad. But I make a video and very consistently it will get on the low end 2,000 views, on the high end 20,000 with an average of 4,000 to 6,000. You have to understand that it might not seem like a lot, but for little old Acez over here with only 30,000 subscribers, that is kind of a lot. Now, is that because there's not a ton of PvE content creators? Maybe. Is that because people just enjoy seeing somebody a little more positive right now about Escape from Tarkov? Maybe. You can tell what kind of video I'm going to create based on the thumbnail and the colors in the thumbnail. And that's done intentionally. If the text is red, it's probably going to be straight up negative. If the text is yellow, which it should be for this video, it's going to be somewhere in that neutral ground. Meaning, it could go positive, it could go negative. If the text is green, that means it's good vibes only, baby. And it's going to be a great video. You're going to learn something. You're going to see something that helps you, whatever the case. Or you're just going to learn about a new patch or new information. Hey, it doesn't matter. Either way, you know it's going to be a good time. When it comes to other creators, there's only certain creators right now that I would even waste the time to watch. And I say that very intentionally. Streamers have to earn your watch time. There's only one of you. And there's only so many of us in the Tarkov community. It is not a good idea to shit where you sleep. It's a very common phrase. So all of the streamers and creators that are constantly shitting right next to their bed, it makes no sense to me. I will not watch them. I won't watch them anymore. I'm going to go to a streamer that is enjoying the game. I'm going to go watch creators who are loving the game and taking it for what it is. Yes, there's some things they'll complain about. I'm the same way. If you watch any of my hardcore content, there's going to be 5 to 10 references of something I think could be changed or could be different. But if in the course of an hour, I'm not bitchy and I'm not bitching, the game's in a good spot. Plain and simple. If I'm enjoying it and having fun, it's in a good spot. I am one of the most bitchy people, at least in my opinion, when it comes to just seeing something that could be better and calling it out. I'm a very passionate person. Tarkov, in my opinion, is the best FPS created since it came out. It is that good. There has never been another game for me personally to even come close to Escape from Tarkov. That's why I love it so much. That's why you love it so much. So the amount of negativity lately, yes, in some cases it's warranted. But constantly hammering Nikita and BSG, and even worse, your own community that you've curated, you turning all of them into just more negative Nancy's isn't going to help you in the long run. And I learned that the hard way. All right. When I did it for a year, the only people in my comment section were all negative, and that made me more negative. When PVE came out and all those people shit on me, and all those people were, telling me how my channel is going to fail and how I'm a terrible person for supporting a $250 purchase. Listen, man, you know how many hours I put in Tarkov? Well over 3,000. $250 is well worth that amount of time. So when you believe in something and you're positive, you're gonna attract the right people, and that's what we did here on this channel. This video is not an ego fluff. That is just simply saying that I saw the positive in a situation where a lot of people saw a negative, and I said, fuck all y'all, I'm gonna go do my thing, and I'm gonna enjoy it whether you enjoy it or not. And that attracted a ton of you guys, my new community, my PvE community, that said, fuck yeah, I'm riding with Acez. I'm liking PvE too. Let's see what this thing turns into. And now, how many months later, we're in the best spot PvE's ever been in. So, to end this whole thing, I think that we are in a very interesting situation. I've said it since the start that PvE is the future of Tarkov. Obviously, BSG and Nikita don't want that. They want it to be PvP. But at the same time, if you can't get it under control, and it seems like they can't, that's brutally honest. If you can't get the cheating under control, if, you can't put good loot on the map because you're worried the cheaters are going to vacuum it all up and you're too worried about real money trading, I don't know how to give any suggestion on how to help that. There, as a creator who does primarily specialize in Escape from Tarkov content, I cannot even think of a solution for BSG other than to go fully support for PvE and PvP at the same time. PvE is lacking things that PvP has. If, they don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, go to the other tunnel. You have 2 tunnels now. And if you want to count arena, you add arena, ref, quest, loot transfer to PvE, there's going to be at least some crossover from PvE to arena. So at the end of the day, you still have a little bit of a transition point from Tarkov to arena with the PvE crowd. But they haven't added that content. They haven't taken advantage of that potential revenue stream yet. So that's where we're going to end it. I'm going to leave you with all those thoughts. Feel free to discuss in the comments. If you're just going to be an asshole, I'm just going to remove your comment. If you're providing great criticism, good points, of course I'm going to let you fight it out with the rest of the people who disagree with you. But at the same time, some of the shit that I see on Nikita's tweets, it's absurd. Do not be just an asshole for no reason. Provide some sort of value in the comments, please, because I just don't want to see it. The game's in the best spot it's ever been in for PvE, which is what my community likes and enjoys. But I know some of us watch Pestilli, some of us watch Glorious, some of us watch Axel, some of these creators that have been very vocal about how bad the game is. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Of course, I'd love to earn your like today, but if you're going to leave a dislike, that's fine too. The engagement still counts exactly the same. Fuck you, haters. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. I'm out.